I'm going to be rereading Ali Hazelwood books. I have 4 of her books picked out that I need a refresher on. The first book I'm going to revisit is The Love Hypothesis. I read this book when it blew up, when everyone was reading it, and I gave this 2.75 stars. I said in my review, the rating is low because it took getting past the 50% mark for me to be invested in the story. I remember not really loving this until kind of the 60% mark. And then I was like, oh, okay. I see what's happening. I understand why people like this. The thing about this revisit, this reread, I can almost guarantee that I'm going to be bumping up this score. Now that I know what Ali Hazelwood's writing is like, and now that I'm used to her being a fixture in the romance space, I think I'm going to grow an appreciation for this story. The next Ali Hazelwood book I'm going to be rereading is Love Theoretically. I gave this book 3 stars. I read it in 2024, but I didn't write a review for this book, so I don't remember anything about this book. I don't even remember the characters that we're going to be following, but I liked it. I gave it 3 stars. I need a refresher on this book for sure. I couldn't tell you anything about it. The next Ali Hazelwood book I'm going to read is Check and Mate. I remember really liking this book. I gave this 3.75 stars, but I rounded it up on Goodreads, so it's at a 4-star rating for me. I said this was cute. It had a lot of pop culture references, and that will make it age poorly, but surprisingly, I could look past it. Nolan and Mallory were really sweet. I can't believe I read a chess romance. A book having a lot of pop culture references is not something that I'm a fan of, so I feel like that's really going to be glaring on a reread. I think I'm still going to like this book. I remember some of the scenes, and that's kind of how I know I liked it, because I remember where I was reading this book and I can point out some scenes. The last book that I'm going to be rereading from her is Not in Love. I personally gave this book 4 stars. This is probably her most controversial read. People do not seem to like this book, but I did. I said in my review, I can see why people might not like this one, but I found the relationship dynamic to be refreshing. It gets old reading the same cookie cutter romance books. Rue was such an interesting character. We need more books about off-putting women getting a happy ending. I remember really liking the female main character, and I think that's what people didn't like about this book. I feel like I remember her being kind of prickly, very blunt, kind of standoffish. She felt different than a lot of other romance book female main characters, and it felt really different for Ali Hazelwood as well. I think this is her lowest rated of like the full length books. Yeah, people seem to not like this one as much as the others. Not in Love is sitting at a 3.63. Like, people didn't like this one, but I did. I gave it 4 stars. Those are the 4 Ali Hazelwood books I'm going to be rereading, cracking back open, and seeing if my opinions have changed on them. I think I'm going to start with The Love Hypothesis, maybe. It depends on what the library has. So that's going to be what's in this video. I'm done reading The Love Hypothesis. I forgot that this book was fake dating. I did not remember that that's how they got together. I also forgot how big boy, small girl this book was. I think Ali Hazelwood always has that kind of element in her books, but this one, I feel like this is way more than all the other ones. I'm gonna let her do her thing though. If you want to write every male protagonist as the tallest man alive, that's fine. That's your right, actually. I also think I liked Adam more this time around. I don't think I liked him the first time I read this book, and he's still not like my favorite character of all time, but I enjoyed him. I'm going to change my rating for this book to a 3 stars. It's definitely not my favorite Ali Hazelwood book, but I think it's a solid romance book. I think most people can get down with this one. That was The Love Hypothesis. The next read is going to be Love Theoretically, because Adam and Olive pop up in that book. I'm around the 70% mark in Love Theoretically right now. This book is very similar to The Love Hypothesis, which is so strange because I think there was about 2 years in between the two, but they're reading kind of the same to me. They both have the fake dating trope. The only difference is that Elsie, the female main character, is not fake dating Jack, the male main character. She is fake dating with his brother. So there's a little bit of a difference, but not by much. I like Elsie and Jack more than Adam and Olive. Not that I have to sit here and compare every single couple, but for these two books, since they are reading the same to me, I kind of can't help but compare the two. And I also like the plot more as well. I'm going to finish this book today and then give my final thoughts. My final update on Love Theoretically, I ended up giving it 3 stars on Goodreads. If I was going to be more specific, I would give it a 3.25 because I did end up liking it more than The Love Hypothesis. Good overall. It's a solid romance book. I forgot to say I started Check and Mate, but I binged it in a day, so I'm done with Check and Mate. I am going to bump it up to 4 stars. It is just so good. My main critique from the first time I read it was that there are a lot of pop culture references, but now that I've read all of these Ali Hazelwood books back to back, that's kind of just her thing. Like, they appeared a lot in The Love Hypothesis, they appeared a lot in Love Theoretically, they were present here. So that's just the way Ali Hazelwood writes. Everything in the story kind of just works for me. I've actually wanted a physical copy of this book for a while now, and on a reread, that's kind of just solidified. Unfortunately, the cover for this book is so fugly. Like, I'm so sorry to the artist. I really am. Like, you're trying your best. A lot of her covers are really ugly to me. This one, though, this one's the worst. There's actually a special edition for this book. I think it's with Afterlight. I'll put the cover on the screen. And the artist that did these covers did them for like a bunch of Ali Hazelwood books. But the Check and Mate cover is so good. I think it perfectly represents the characters. I love the colors. I want it so bad, but unfortunately you can't get it anymore. I'm pretty sure it's been sold out for at least a year because I have checked multiple times. And people are reselling this book for $500 for one book. For Check and Mate? Anyway, I have started Not in Love. Want to find out if I still enjoy this book. So, we'll see. Done with my reread of Not in Love. I originally gave it 4 stars. I am going to bump it down to a 3.75 stars. Not that big of a difference, but I think I liked it less this time around. I think that people struggle with Eli and Rue's dynamic because it comes across kind of clinical. They are both very clear communicators. They're very direct. They know what they want. And there isn't a lot of like fluff around them. They kind of just get to the point. I like that because it wasn't so, will they, won't they? Does he like me? Does she like me? They kind of both know where they are with each other, and there's like clear communication at every stage in their relationship. So I don't know. I liked it. This book was more insta-lovey than I remember. I think it's more insta-lovey than her other books. I didn't mind it because they kind of speed run through the very early stages of dating. Eli tells Rue about his struggles with his family and how it was really hard for him to raise his sister. And Rue also has family issues. She has a very strained relationship with her brother, and she also tells him about how her experience was growing up with food insecurity. They talk about the darker parts of themselves faster, so I can kind of give the insta-love a little bit of leeway. Also, when I was reading this book, I really felt that it was spiritually connected to Deepen. Like, I feel like this book laid the groundwork for Ali Hazelwood to then write Deepen. I think that most people would say that they enjoyed Deepen more than this one, but I think I like them either around the same amount or this one maybe a little bit more. They're very equal in my mind. Those are all my thoughts on this reread journey. I'm glad that I did it. I needed a refresher from her older work. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want, you can subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.